and welcome to another brief sidebar adventure. This is episode 20 and a half. When we stopped, Thaddeus and Natalya had stayed behind in the Blue Pyramid Club while Shelley and Alice beat a hasty retreat after pissing off a guy at the bar. So, let us get right into it. We did some stuff offline. To briefly recap, Thaddeus went into the main room to see what was going on and saw a patron being carted out by a couple of bouncers out the front door. And when he went in, he saw a woman who it turns out is by the name of Faye Collins, who you can see here. She was dancing with her partner, but annoying him by trying to talk about the incident. So Thaddeus kind of stepped in and has now kind of sniped the guy's date and has her at the bar now talking about the incident. He's showing interest in hearing about it. Unfortunately, he's kind of scared her a little bit. She's nervous about the guy in the red fez, and Thaddeus seemed intent on making them go right next to them at the bar, and then he started talking to the guy. So he almost lost Faye completely, who wanted to back away. So they have retreated to the other end of the bar, and they have now introduced themselves to one another. So Faye Collins has said, "I'm Faye Collins, and you," and that is where we stopped.
Alright, so Thaddeus looks at her and smiles. Well, my name is Thaddeus Pep, and it is a pleasure to meet you, Miss Collins.
Wow. It is a pleasure to meet you as well. So what brings you to the club? And you can see she's still kind of nervously glancing every so often, kind of furtively in the direction of the two men at the other end of the bar. And she says, "I don't believe I've seen you here before. And you sound American."
Ah, yes. No, that is astute, because I am American. We are on our way to a journey to Egypt, me and a few of my friends of mine.
Egypt?
We decided to follow in the footsteps of the lost voyage, so to speak.
She kind of leans in a little closer and kind of flashes her eyelashes a little bit, and says, "So you're something of an international traveler, then?" That's
yes.
very romantic.
So what about yourself? You come here often?
She says, "Are we going to get those drinks? Then maybe I'll tell you about myself."
Thaddeus will try to get the attention of the bartender.
Yep. There's only two groups at the bar at the moment. Most people are dancing. He comes over.
Yes. A glass of bourbon on the rocks for the lady here, and I'd like some more ep.
He just nods and pours. And she says, "So you want to know about me?" And she smiles.
Oh, but of course.
She says, "Well, I'm pleased to hear that. My dates don't usually want to hear about me. They just want to go on and on and on and on and on about their own jobs and lives."
Well, I assure you, I live quite a boring life, so you do not want to hear about it.
Doesn't sound boring. Tell me about this trip you're going to take.
Yes. Well, me and a few friends, we decided to go on the little adventure, so to speak, and he'll kind of smile. We decided to follow in the footsteps of a lost expedition to get some thrills out of it.
She kind of glances over at the man in the fez and she says, "Seems to me you chase trouble. I could be trouble." And she takes a drink.
And what kind of trouble might you be?
No, that's for you to find out.
Ah,
Make a perception. Make a spot hidden check for me,
yeah,
or
that
or
is,
psychology. It's your choice.
man. Options. Make me look at the numbers. Spot hidden is in my favor. Nope, nope, not at
No,
all.
no. Okay, keep going.
Well, I think it would be quite interesting to figure out what kind of trouble you may be. And he'll kind of wink.
Um, she says, "Well, first of all, I have expensive tastes." And she kind of puts up her arm to kind of touch her earrings, and you can see she's wearing a very nice bracelet as well.
I'm gonna do an appraise to see if I can see the exact value.
Go ahead. Uh, they are they're nice, but they're not as nice as they appear to be. They're fake stones.
Oh,
You can tell even at this distance.
those are mighty nice. I suppose they were a gift from somebody.
She says, "I'm sure they were. I'm sure I've lost track."
Oh,
She takes
but you
another
may never
drink.
want to see that fellow again. He overestimated their value.
She says, "Oh, him? He never gave me anything. Or at least not yet. We'll see."
Ah. Well, I assure you, if that's your taste, if those are your expensive taste, then we are in no trouble.
She she says, "If you'd like, I can tell you about my life."
Yes, yes. I would love to hear it about it. And he'll take a big drink.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into it. She starts telling you about growing up in the countryside. She says her parents were wealthy landowners. Can you make a let's see? Yeah, make a psychology check for me.
Oh man.
Yep.
Almost.
Almost. Unless you want to spend luck, I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, she goes on, and I get the sense that she would start boring Thaddeus. Um, she'll talk as long as you let her. In fact, you have gone over the 10-minute mark. So, Natalya?
And Natalya, she'd be kind of waiting there as time ticks on, as she finishes her drink. I'm getting more and more annoyed, but
Yeah, and your hookah is all ready to go.
yeah. After the 10 minutes, she'll be concerned. Is there anyone else in the room?
There are a couple of there's one couple. They're at one of the small tables in the room. So you are alone on the sofas. There's like two sofas and one overstuffed chair, all kind of arranged around a fireplace. And right now you're the only one sitting there. And they've kind of they've brought your setup, and set it up in front of you, in front of the sofa.
Yeah,
So you can recline if you want.
she'd take the cup that she had and she'd kind of try and make it look like someone's supposed to be there, like put the cup where she was sitting,
Mm-hmm.
and quickly head, because she knows Thaddeus was heading up to the bar,
Right.
to where the noise was, so she's going to quickly head up there without looking like she's, rushing.
Okay. That sounds good. You make it there, and you see him standing at the bar with that red-headed woman.
Yeah, Natalia, seeing that, she'll cross her arms, but she'll approach Thaddeus from the other side, and probably as Faye's talking, she'll touch Thaddeus on the shoulder very lightly, lean over a bit. Thaddeus?
That is kind of startled. Ah, Natalia. And he'll smile. And he'll look over at Faye. Natalia, this is Faye. Faye, this is Natalia. We were just talking about the ruckus that happened in here and the two men that were involved.
Faye, Faye kind of looks at you, Natalia, and you can see she's not terribly pleased at the interruption. But she puts her hand out graciously, and you can see by the way she kind of bends her wrist a little bit, it's meant so that you kind of have to take her hand from below. It's a very subtle act of superiority.
And Natalia will actually take her hand very firmly and twist it so they're even, and shake it, kind of just showing, like squeezing a bit more than she has to, and giving Faye a sharp grin. Nice to meet you.
She says, Faye Collins, pleasure.
Natalia Vaskovia. And she'll look over to Thaddeus. When you are done with this one, I will be downstairs. And Natalia lets go of her hand, gives Thaddeus a pat on the shoulder before heading back down to the lounge.
Thaddeus is, before Natalia can leave, he's gonna kind of grab the elbow and kind of pull her back real quick so he could whisper.
Yes.
See the man in the funny hat?
Mm-hmm.
He was the one that was involved in the ruck.
And she'll glance over. Well, I'll see if I can do anything.
Yes, he doesn't feel like talking too much, but I've been watching them.
I swear that if that setup downstairs is missing when I'm going down there, I'm gonna need another one.
It's actually not downstairs, just to be clear, it's just down the hall.
If it is missing, then, well, we're gonna have a problem.
But don't worry, I think I could get you another one.
You have fun, and if you need me to pull you out, signal me over.
Will do.
And with that, Natalia will... She'll go over to the other side of the bar, not too close to the guy in the fez, but she'll order a vodka.
Okay. Actually, it's the order around the bar is kind of more like this. There's a guy at the end. Those two are talking. You can attempt a listen check for me
Sure.
as you order your drink. Okay. Would you like to push it?
No.
Push
Lean in
it.
a little closer. Yes, that's what got them into trouble.
She will try to, she's kind of ordering.
Okay.
She'll try to catch at least one of their eyes.
The men seem very intent in conversation among themselves, and they're not talking very loudly, just loudly enough to hear each other over the music. And then the dancing stops and the belly dancer routine begins. It was interrupted before. Over at the other end of the bar, so the bar isn't that big, so Faye, you're actually just 3 feet or so away from Faye, and she kind of leans in a little bit to you, Thaddeus, and says, You didn't say you were here with a date. I guess, she says, I guess we're even.
Yes. Well, you never asked, to be fair.
No, I just assumed. I assumed if you were with a woman, she'd be hanging on your arm the whole time. She kind of takes a glance over at Natalya and she says, she's an odd one, isn't she?
Yes, well, she's, quite capable.
Quite capable. What does that mean?
There's a smile. I suppose you could use your imagination.
She frowns a little bit at that. She says, honestly, I don't know how you understand a thing she says. Her accent is as thick as Derbyshire cream.
Yes, well, it was a little hard at first, but knowing her for many years kind of grows on you.
Oh, so you're more just acquaintances than friends.
Yes, very close friends. In fact, we traveled together before, and now we, actually, it's kind of funny. We actually, though, we kind of live together, and so to speak. But
Her
not as you would
eyes
think.
narrow when you say that.
But not as you would think.
Well, I assume she's going to Egypt with you.
Yes. Her and 2 others will be accompanying me on my journey to Egypt. Kind of look. Do you want to join us?
In Egypt? You really are quite mad, aren't you?
Sometimes.
She takes another drink. She says, I've only barely just met you and you're already inviting me to Egypt. Good heavens.
Well, that's understandable that you would be hesitant.
Hesitant, he says.
But nonetheless, that's kind of how I meet my traveling acquaintances. We just fall in together in adventures.
So you just travel around the world picking up new paramours. Or friends, as you call them.
Yes, well, some leave quite abruptly, if you... But figured that I had to replace them quite often.
Make a charm check for me, please. She says, excuse me, I need to powder my nose.
Yes, that's fine.
So she leaves the bar.
And Thaddeus ordered another drink.
Mm-hmm. Natalya, what's Natalya doing?
Is anyone dancing besides the belly dancers?
Oh, well, no, because right now everyone's just watching. So you've kind of heard the music on and off. It seems like it alternates between a few rounds of dancing tunes and then some belly dancing, in which the audience just watches.
She'd spend some time with her drink there, leaning on the bar. She'd watch and kind of wait until maybe more dancing music comes on.
Okay. So Thaddeus, what's the game plan here? You've ordered another drink. Her drink sits there half drunk. Make a spot hidden check for me, please. Actually. Oh, he went back for water. I will make it for him.
Oh. Aw,
Nope.
he sees nothing.
He's interested in his drink. All right. So what about Natalia? We'll stick with her for a minute.
So she's going to try to engage the bartender in some talk,
Okay.
and after she kind of orders another drink, she looks through him. So, how long have you been working here?
He shrugs. Couple of years.
You must have seen some interesting things in your time.
Sure.
No? You are a man of few words.
He says, I'm very busy most of the time.
Well,
You can make a psychology check for me. Oh, okay. It's very, very subtle, but you pick up, while he's talking to you, every so often he glances nervously in the direction of the two men talking at the bar. And you get the sense that he is being sort of unnaturally untalkative. This doesn't, it seems like he's uncomfortable.
Ah, okay. She is going to look around a little bit over dramatically. Look to the left of the bar, look to the right of the bar. Oh, doesn't seem to be too many people up here at this moment.
He says, oh, it'll pick up. The night's still young. We're open late, till 1 o'clock.
It is nice to see a place open so late, usually.
He says, you must be new to London.
I am, actually.
Yeah, he says, most drinking joints are open late.
Well, this is definitely more joy than some of the drinking places that I am used to.
I see.
And she'll look to, this is probably a bad idea. She'll look to the two who are talking as she's kind of close enough. She'll take another drink from her glass and looks to the two of them. What about the two of you? Come here often?
They don't turn or even acknowledge you.
And she looks back to the bartender. I am not used to being ignored like this. Oh, shame.
He says, he kind of leans in, he says, they don't speak English.
Oh, that makes sense. Disappointing. And she'll kind of push herself off the bar. Thank you for the drink.
And at that, the man in the fez kind of turns and motions towards his empty glass, and the bartender goes over and fills it.
Yeah, she'll look over to the guy in the fez. If she can catch his eye, she'll give him a smile before then she'll make her way out of the bar into the lounge.
Okay. Make a spot hidden check for me. Or actually, yeah, that would be good.
Hey.
Yeah. So you notice he fills this guy's glass with a greater percentage of alcohol than he did yours or the other two, or Faye's or Thaddeus. So he's definitely giving the guy a better mix of stuff.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, before she goes, she sees kind of the cup being filled up. Looks back to the bartender. Oh, I see favoritism is everywhere.
He kind of looks at you like he's not sure what you're talking about. And then you can see a sort of maybe a very quick sort of blush go across his face, and then he just kind of directs his attention back at his pour, and then kind of walks down to the other end of the bar to ask Thaddeus if he can get him anything else.
Thaddeus, of course, would smile, nod, and point at his glass.
Yep, he refills it.
So do you guys have belly dancers every night?
He says, "That is what we're famous for, yes."
How exotic. They're quite beautiful.
They are. He says, "I'll warn you though, don't put a hand on them or you'll be thrown out."
I am not the type to touchy-feel, I guess you could say.
He says, "I didn't expect so, but not all our guests have a good sense."
Yes. Well, I could imagine that.
The dancing has started again. Sorry I don't have more music. I'll just have to keep this one on loop for a little while. So, what does Natalya do?
Natalya is going to get up from the bar, finish her drink, put down the glass, and go over to Thaddeus, and she'll hold out a hand to him. Care to dance?
Yes. That'd be fun, I think. Although I barely ever do it.
Neither do I. Go.
Okay, you two dance, and you can see that Faye comes back into the hall, and she glances over at the bar, and hasn't seen the two of you yet. Her first look was at the bar, and she goes over and picks up her drink and just kind of downs it quickly, and starts looking around. And you see the young man she was with kind of come over to her, and they exchange some words.
And as Natalya is dancing with Thaddeus, she'll kind of whisper, apparently the men at the bar do not speak English, and the bartender seems very, very nervous of the
So rude.
Faye kind of glances in your direction, and the young man has taken her hand and he's leading her out the door. She kind of looks over her shoulder at you, Thaddeus, and then turns her head and follows.
Quite an interesting lady that young lass was.
Yes, very interesting. I guess if you like the but I would like to go back to the lounge.
Yes. Yes, I do agree. That sounds like some fun right there.
Good. And Natalya will give a bit of a smile before walking with Thaddeus back to the lounge.
Okay. Make a luck check with 2 bonus dice.
Ooh!
Okay. Good. No one has messed with your stuff.
Hey.
There's a couple on the couch, but they haven't disturbed your stuff, and they seem more interested in kind of intimate conversation.
Yeah, Natalya will nod and make her way back to the couch, taking her glass off where she put it and sitting back down in her spot.
Thaddeus would kind of make his way through. Excuse me.
Well, I've never done this before, have you?
No, not at all.
Well, I do not know if you want to partake, but I will. And with that, she'll go for it to smoke the cigarette.
Okay. How about a con check for me then? Nice. Okay. You are doing all right. It's definitely affecting you, and yes, as you said, you've never done it before. It's very relaxing. Make a luck check now for me. Okay. Yeah, so you're having a pleasant time. And so unless you're going to try not to, you're going to kind of drift with this. So I'm not sure what your intention is, if you were just going to try it or whether you wanted to really get into it.
Knowing what she knows, or at least what she assumes, she's going to try and go with it. And see how that goes. But she'll be looking over to Thaddeus as she's kind of relaxing into the couch. She smiles over at him. Sure?
And Thaddeus will look at it and... yes, why not? And he'll go ahead and give it a shot.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do a con and luck roll. Okay. Thaddeus, you partake of it, and you have a very pleasant experience with it. In fact, you need to make a power check for me now. Okay. So you can stop if you want to, but you feel yourself kind of drifting off with it. So you can decide to just give yourself over to it, or you can force yourself to stop. But you know that if you keep going, you're not thinking clearly anymore, or you're at least on the verge of not thinking clearly.
Thaddeus is feeling nice and relaxed, so he'll drift with it as well.
Okay. So both of you do. And let's see. How about both of you give me an intelligence roll? All right, Thaddeus. When you are shaken awake, you're kind of out of it and have no idea what happened. Like, you don't remember anything. Natalya, you kind of wake, and it's a couple of bouncers that are standing over you, the two of you, kind of trying to. In fact, they're being one's being a little gentler with Natalya, but the guy with Thaddeus is kind of slapping him in the face a couple times, and saying, cannot stay, must go."
Oh, of course. Yeah. Natalia will stumble up. And she looks down at the guy who's kind of slapping Thaddeus away. No need for that. He's rough.
Thaddeus, you kind of look around bewildered, and the guy kind of helps you to your feet. And they both kind of guide you to the entrance. And your feet are kind of wobbly under you, both of you.
Yeah, Natalia will be fairly relaxed, but what time is it?
It's a little after 1.
Oh.
The
She's asking
the club is closing down. You can see people as you go out into the hall. The dance hall is being swept. Omar is there, and he comes up to you, and he starts saying something. And he has to repeat himself a couple times, and you realize he's saying something about his guest book.
She narrows her eyes at him. What about your guest book?
He says, your friends, they took my guest book.
Your guest book?
The book. Remember?
Well, yes, but I don't know why our friends would steal a guest book.
Is there proof of this?
He says something about a bouncer seeing them leave with it.
And I don't know why they take a guest book. Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, I guess when we see them, if they have it, we could tell them to bring it back.
Yes.
I assure you, we have no idea that they took it.
And Abdul comes over, and Omar motions him over, and they exchange some words in Arabic. And you can see Abdul get visibly annoyed, and you're starting to sober up a bit. But you're still, especially you, Thaddeus, your mind is very cloudy right now. Natalya, you're kind of starting to focus again. Abdul turns to you and he says, "This is not acceptable. Omar says your friends were seen taking the book."
I don't know why our friends would take the book. I mean, we can ask them if they have it. I cannot tell you. I apologize.
He says, "This is illegal. I could call the police."
Well, she looks to Thaddeus. We don't have the book. I mean, we can get them to bring it back to you. Again, I don't know why they take it.
Omar says something in Arabic, and Abdul says, yes, that is good. Let me see your credentials." And a woman comes over that you haven't seen before, and she says something in Arabic to Abdul. And Natalya, make a psychology check with a with a penalty die. Ooh, you
Still got it.
even make it with a penalty. Um, you see Abdul immediately kind of stiffen up when she comes over um, and become kind of visibly nervous. And you can see that you can't understand the exchange between them, but you can see that he's trying to kind of put her off and make light of the situation. And clearly she's interested in what's going on here. And he's saying something like, "It's nothing, don't worry about it." And the woman kind of gives you and Thaddeus a look over with a sort of a critical eye, studying you. And Abdul says to you in English, "Credentials, please. Hurry. You must leave now, but I want them."
You want to keep them?
"No, but I will copy down the information quickly, please. You are becoming
What
an irritant."
credentials?
And
Which ones?
the woman seems to kind of lose interest and walks past you and into the other room, like the little dining room.
Thaddeus would pull out his passport. I think that's the only thing he would have.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he takes a look at it and holds it up to compare the picture on the passport to you, and he seems satisfied, and he hands it to Omar. And Omar goes over to his station and starts copying down the information on the passport. And he says, "You will bring back the book, or I will go to the police, and now I have your information."
Oh, yes, this is fine. We will bring back your book. You don't know why they would take it.
"Where are you staying?"
You know, the really expensive one. Looking. The Ritz, is it that it is? Or is it the other one?
I think so. Maybe.
He calls out to Omar, "Something something Ritz." And Omar just kind of nods and keeps writing. And then he brings the passport back and hands it to Abdul, and Abdul hands it back to you. And he says, "Go now."
Okay.
That we shall.
And Omar kind of makes a nod to the bouncers, and they, not very gently, kind of guide you down the hall to the exit. And all the way down the stairs and to the main door, and kind of gently shove you out into the street. And I say gently because it's not really that gently, not very roughly, but they're not being too careful. And then they close the door behind you, and you can hear a bolt slide into place.
Well, that was quite interesting.
Yeah, Natalya she'll wrap an arm around Thaddeus. It's his arm, and she'll we got kicked out of a bar.
Yes, we're beginning to be a regular type of hoodlum.
We are. Maybe we can find somewhere else to get kicked out of next time.
Well, I suppose we could be an annoyance and keep trying to come back.
Oh, good. Though I don't. We do have the passes. I mean, that's all we need to get in.
Yes.
They never said we couldn't come back.
Yes, well, maybe our friends in the funny head would be there, and since we lost track of them.
Yes, unfortunately. Um, Maybe we should get a cab.
Well, it's either that or since we're here, we could look around. I'm sure that there's a
Oh,
window.
a window! You want to sneak in?
Yeah. Surely they would just think we're just two drunk idiots.
Yes, but Thaddeus, I don't want to get arrested.
We don't have to break in. We just see if they're killing people on the inside in a circle of some sort with some flames around it.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if they do that in view of a window, Thaddeus, but I'm just gonna look left and right. I mean, we could try.
Yeah, just kind of look around the building.
The whole, as far as you can tell, the Pyramid Club is entirely on the second floor. There's a greengrocer's under it and another store under it at the end.
Well, I suppose if we could fly, this would make everything much easier.
Yes, yes, it would. Unfortunately, we can't.
However,
Oh,
if past experience, this is gonna turn around and haunt us again. I bet you there's a basement.
oh, that could be. Maybe there's an entrance somewhere. I don't know if there'd be an outdoor. Maybe there's a back door.
And we could go look. After all, we're just two young, drunk, star-crossed lovers in the middle of the night.
Maybe it's you. But okay.
That is a smirk.
I guess we'll go kind of around the building to see if there's a
Okay.
back door or anything like that.
Yeah. Trying to see what would be the best thing for that. Well, I'll just. How about just a straight up intelligence roll?
Okay.
Who's that? What's that?
Woo!
Wow. So, unless the Pyramid Club has some kind of secret entrance down into one of the shops, there's no exits up there. You kind of have a very good sense of the size of the building, and you are not seeing any evidence of extra area that wasn't covered in the rooms you saw. And you didn't, you only saw a couple of doors, a men and women's door at each side of the stage for bathrooms, and that kind of pretty much is at the very end of the building. So you don't see anything, and it would be it would have to be hidden somewhere pretty well, because you've pretty much seen everything.
So I'm gonna look at the building, look over at Thaddeus. No, I don't think there's any back doors, no, too. Unless we break into a shop, maybe. I don't think there's gonna be any basement. Or at least any back door to any basement. Outside. We'd have to break in.
Make a group luck check for me. That is, you both need to make a luck check, and I'll check whoever of you has the lower luck. That's who will make the roll for the group. Nice. Well, Thaddeus is lower, so we take his, because he has a 50. So, but he still succeeded. Okay, so, all right. So continue.
She kind of looks around. Maybe we should stop standing out front.
Well, if one of these shop doors had unlocked, it's really not breaking in, is it?
And Natalia's jaw kind of drops a little bit, but she's got a smile at the corner of her mouth. You're talking about breaking in.
And while you're
Yeah.
talking, you hear the door to the Pyramid Club, the floor entrance open.
Oh. We should hide. Hide. And she'll kind of pull him off to maybe an alleyway or something that they can still see the door, but...
Okay. Well, you're very lucky right now. So you happen to be like right at a corner, so you can kind of duck around the corner.
she'll pull him behind.
Yep. And you can see the outline of a couple of people, and they start walking in your direction on the sidewalk.
And she's gonna pull back a bit. They're coming. Distraction. Think of something. No,
you
don't
could
distract
you could pull further down that cross street if you wanted to stay out of sight. Otherwise, in about a minute, they're going to be at the corner where you are.
Thaddeus is just gonna grab Natalia, pull her close, and lean against the wall. And be like, this is convincing.
Oh, very convincing.
All right. In a minute, two people walk by, and they're not talking. Make a spot hidden check for me, please. One of you.
Oh.
Let's go with that.
You smell perfume, and it's an odd perfume, and you recognize it as the perfume you smelled when that woman came over to check out what was going on.
Yeah, she's gonna keep Thaddeus close as they walk by.
You notice, as they walk by, you notice that she's with somebody who is, you get the sense, quick and cautious, because he kind of quickly turns in your direction, because you're you're like 3 feet away from him. And he turns, and you can see there's a sort of cat-like response of readiness for just a moment, and then he just kind of moves on with her, obviously dismissing you as a problem.
This is they kind of pass.
And he's wearing a cloak and a hood up over his head, so you couldn't really get a very good look at him, but it was definitely a male body, though not a large one.
Okay. Yeah, as they pass by, maybe get a little bit farther. Natalia's gonna kind of peek around Thaddeus and whisper, that was the girl from before, the one they were, I'm pretty sure, reporting to.
Well, that's quite perfect.
Should we follow?
Yes, we should.
I had success in following before.
Let's just see where they take us. Maybe there'll be more we need to go.
Let's just be careful.
All right. How close do you want to follow? And this is the way I'm going to do it. You can choose any amount of bonus or penalty dice to your spot hidden checks. That will be the same that is applied to their ability to spot you.
Okay. I'm gonna say... Oh... You pick. Sid. That's you.
Oh, I suck. So
The bonus die. Uh-huh.
I know, but they're gonna get the same bonus die. So like,
Mhm.
of course, I'd want to pick 2. Would that be 2 for them as well? They'll
Yes,
probably have better
two would
stats.
mean you're following pretty close. You're going to make sure you don't lose them.
I'd say -1, maybe.
One penalty
Well,
die.
we gotta be able to spot them as well.
True. So maybe just 0.
Go +1.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
Who's rolling for it?
Oh. So I roll spot hidden?
You do. And I need a second.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Well, it turns out you didn't even need that. You would have done better to... okay. So, let me see here. Okay. So you follow them, and they really only go a fairly short distance. They just go down to the... they take a left. Yeah, they kind of took a left past you, so if you had retreated down the street, you would have just gone in the direction they were going anyway. So you follow them, and they go to about a block down, and they stop, and you can see her, and even hear keys jingling, and she opens a door, and they pass inside and close it.
Natalia's gonna look for kind of landmarks, street signs, numbers.
Yeah. Okay. That's... you can see up ahead there is a street sign. It's a little hard to read, but it's a short name.
Perfect. Okay. This sounds far from the Blue Pyramid Club. Good. And she kind of looks around. Is there any windows?
Well, you're not right up to the building. You're not exactly sure. Do you want to cross the street or something to get a better look at the front of the building? Because it's like a row of things, and it looks like a row of shops.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, you can see where she went in. There are a couple of windows, and there is also a very small door to the right of the rightmost window that's like a kind of like a back alley door.
That's the one that she went into?
No, she went into the main door. And you can see there is a store sign, though it's too dark to read the name.
Yeah, she's gonna get a bit closer. If she can't read the sign, she's gonna go down that alleyway.
Oh, if you go to the alley door, you can definitely read the sign. I mean, that would be, you're gonna pass right close in front of the shop.
Oh shoot, true. Are the lights on?
There are some dim lights inside that just came on. The curtains are drawn in the windows.
That's good at least.
And there is a second floor that also has windows. but they also have curtains drawn, or at least you believe they do. It's pitch black up there.
She looks to Thaddeus. What do you think?
I think we should go ahead.
Okay.
See what we can find.
All right, if
If-
you're going to do this, then we need to wait till Wednesday night, because I don't have enough time to start a snoop around.
No problem.
Got it.
All right, then that's where we'll pick up.